So, those of you outside, just come around the wall here, yeah. Come to the wall here, yeah. Exactly, yeah. You can get some practice for leaning on the bar counter here. Very good. You get some of the flavours of fishy there. The chowder. I say he times it. He knows the tour is here. Anyway. Excellent. So the shoreline. It's not too hard to imagine now the shoreline being here. Right here at my back. And all this underwater. Now, if you were here 3 years ago, on Valentine's weekend of all weekends, all the flat of Kinsale was under 4 feet of seawater due to flooding. So because of the reclamation process, Kinsale does flood even in modern times. And to understand all that, come back to the location of Kinsale again. We're right on the bend of the river, which means on the plus side we're very sheltered. You get all these sun traps like we're feeling now. But on the negative side, we're also very vulnerable to silt and erosion dropping. It would all naturally drop on the bend of a river. What happened was, through the 1600s, the inner harbour got badly silted up here due to deforestation upriver. Ironically, a lot of it to build ships, boats and barrels. For example, in the 1630s, the East Indies Trading Company built 2 huge ships up the river called the Thomas and the Hope. And each of those ships cost, brace yourself, 40 acres of oak. Because, now they weren't building Noah's Ark, it was because they used the oak as a fuel to make charcoal to smelt iron, and also a building material. Now politics came into this also, because when all those oak forests were felled, there was an English policy of not replanting. Replanting forests in Ireland only created hiding places for the guerrilla warfare tactics of the Irish rebels, they felt. And the problem with that is rain, erosion and silt followed. See, this all got so badly silted up here, big ships couldn't get in, even at high tide, and the townspeople decided to fill it all in. In the early 1700s, they took down the wall, which stood right here, and recycled that stone into the piers. And then filled all the rest here gradually with shale, which is like a brittle version of slate. But shale is not a good building stone. It's brittle, I mentioned subsidence earlier, and it's porous. So this is how Kinsale floods. If you have a high tide and a westerly gale behind it, the town centre in there floods from beneath. It comes in under and up the drains and foundations of old buildings. I remember 3 years ago, when the last bad flood happened, 2 locals were photographed canoeing from pub to pub through the streets here. And that made me think ahead. You know the way the sea level is rising. Is it time to plan ahead on, in 20 years' time, launching gondola tours? That's plan B. So there you go. We've explored that now about the trade and the changing shape of the harbour. Let's finish with the biggest event that happened here, the Battle of Kinsale. Here the ministers now praying down at the shoreline for those lost at sea in Sea Sunday. But our central date was 1601, when the Spanish Empire took control here. And along the way I was asked there as well a question, any sections of the town walls still remaining? So I want to show you a section of the wall remaining just up here in World's End. And there we can reimagine the Spanish arrival. So let's literally step in to the end of the world just here.